welcome to lesson 6-1 on solving two-step equations. First, we're going to do a quick review of the activity lab that we did today in class. So I have an equation shown here. I have 3x, and we showed each x with a popsicle stick, plus 2 equals -7. In order to get x by itself, what did I have to undo first? Right, the addition or subtraction. And I did that by first getting rid of the individual tiles. So if I have +2 and I want to cancel them out, I'm going to add a -2. And whatever I do to this side, I need to do the same thing to this side. So I added a -2 here as well. So now I have all my tiles on one side, and I still, though, have 3x, and I only want to know what 1x is. So I'm going to break these tiles into equal groups. So I have 1, 2, 3 groups. So over here, I need 1, 2, 3 groups. So I'm going to divide all these tiles into 3 equal groups. And now that I've divided them, I'm going to take away all but one group. So I took away 2 whole groups here, which means I'm going to take away 2 whole groups there. And now that I have x all by itself, I know that x equals -3. Let's look at one more. All right, here's our second equation. Try to write down what you think it is. Did you write 2x minus 4 equals -2? If you didn't, then go ahead and correct that now. So I have 2x minus 4, or plus -4, equals -2. I want to get x by itself. What am I going to undo first? Good, the addition and subtraction. And I do that by my tiles. So right now I have -4, and to cancel those out, I need to add +4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that they're all doubled, I can take them away. And whatever I did to that side, I need to do to the other side. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, +4. So now, I'm not done though, because I have 2 different colors over here. And remember that when I have one of each color, they're going to cancel each other out. A -1 and a +1 cancel each other out. So I showed that in the beginning of the year by lining them up this way. And this is the same thing if we're finding the sum of 2 different numbers with different signs. Different, find the difference. So 4 minus 2 of their absolute values says that there's going to be 2 left over, and they'll keep the sign of the bigger number. So those cancel out, and we have +2. Now I need to break these into how many groups? 1, 2 equal groups. Well, that was easy enough. I only want one group left, so I'm going to take away this group and take away this group. And so I have x equals +1. All right, now let's go on to today's lesson, which is looking at them written out. So here's our first example. Jim adopted a puppy from a shelter and paid a $125 adoption fee. He also bought 3 bags of dog food. He spent a total of $154.97 on his new dog. How much did each bag cost? So I'm going to take this information, I'm going to organize it in a little diagram here. I know that I have a total, and the total is going to be adding together these 2 things. I have the fee and how much he spent on the bags of dog food. Okay? Which when I write that into an equation, it's going to be the fee plus the bags equals the total. Let's see what information is given to us in the problem. So first of all, I see right here this word total jumped right out at me. He spent a total of $154.97. So that's going to go up here. And then I know that he paid a fee of $125. Is that fee a one-time cost, or is he going to have to pay that over and over again? Good, it's a one-time cost. And so that's going to go right here. And we don't need to do anything else to it because it's only a one-time cost. He also bought 3 bags of dog food. So we don't know how much each bag costs, but we know that whatever it costs, we need to multiply it times the 3 bags that he got. So that's going to go down here. And we're going to use a variable to represent the cost of each bag. So we'll say 3B for our bags. Now let's go ahead and plug this into our equation. So for our fee was $125 plus the bags, which will be 3B, equals $154.97. Now I eliminated my dollar signs here, but we want to make sure that our final answer has the dollar sign in it and that we know that it's money. If you have a tendency to forget that, then write in your dollar signs there too. Now we're ready to solve, okay? So let's look at our hints for solving two-step equations. We have first, we're going to undo the addition and subtraction, and then we're going to undo the multiplication and division, and then we're going to check our answer by plugging it back in. Now in this chapter, we're going to eventually be solving multi-step equations, and we'll be combining like terms and doing all sorts of other things. What you need to know is to solve an equation, you work backwards from PEMDAS. So usually you do parentheses, exponents. We always multiply and divide before we add and subtract. When we're undoing them, we're going to do that in the exactly opposite order. That's why we are undoing the addition and subtraction before the multiplication and division. So let's look at our first example, which is the problem we were doing above. So first I need to undo my addition or subtraction. I found my variable right here, and I want to isolate this. So what number is being added or subtracted to it? Good, the 125. So I added a negative, or I added negative 125 there. So I'm going to add a negative 125 here. 3B equals 29.97. So my next step, now I already undid the addition and subtraction. Now I need to undo the multiplication or division. Right now, what is happening to B? It's being multiplied by 3. So to undo that, I'm going to divide by 3 and divide by 3. Basically, I'm splitting this into 3 equal groups, just like we did with our tiles. So B equals, and I used my calculator, but it is 999. So B equals 999, but I'm not completely done because really to be a good mathematician, we should check our work. So that's really easy. I'm just going to plug this right back into our equations. And now let's see what it equals. Do 999 times 3. You can use your calculator. It equals, and now add 125. What did you get? 154.97. And so we are correct. $9.99 is how much each bag cost him. I want you to rewatch the video if you need to and try to answer this question now on your own. Follow it all the way through, check your answer, bring it in with you tomorrow. Let's go to page 2. Suppose you buy a slice of pizza for $1.50. You also split the cost of renting a video with 2 friends. Your total cost is $275. What was the cost of the video? So first let's fill in our diagram. Up here we have our total. Here we have our one-time cost of the pizza. And then here we have our video that is going to be split. So as our equation, we would have, now let's fill in what we know. So our total was $275. Our pizza was $150. And our video was split with 2 friends. So we know that whatever it costs for a video, we divided it by 3 people, right? So we're going to have video divided by 3. All right, let's plug that into our things. 5. I'm going to undo my addition or subtraction first and do the same thing right here. And I get V divided by 3 equals 125. And now, in order to undo division, I need to multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 3 and multiply by 3. 125 times 3, you should be able to do that mentally, is going to be V equals 375. Final step, go back and check it. So you're going to have equals 375 divided by 3 equals 125. 125 plus 150 equals 275. So it works out. All right, go ahead and try example D on your own. To make a long distance call, it costs 50 cents per call and 85 cents per minute. You spend $3.90 on a call. How long was the call? I look forward to seeing your work tomorrow. Go ahead and get to work.